is brighter than yesterday.
Buy blue this Blue November in support of Prostate and Testicular Cancer Awareness Month. This time check is brought to you by TM Pick and Pay. Real value always.
Good evening and welcome to the Sunday edition. I am Tariro Maramike with Susan Masona at the Sign Language Desk.
I'm Liam Bernard and Miriam Gwenya will join us much later from our Montreux studio. It is raining out here at the hill.
Indeed, it is quite heavily so, but we'll be giving you the weather report in detail a little later on in the bulletin. But for now, let's take a look at the leading headlines. SADC Extraordinary Summit now in motion.
Milibeze Fish Market on the mighty Zambesi River in Binga is more than just a place to buy and sell.
Indeed, we'll take a look at this in our This and That feature.
A 25-year-old chemical engineering student from NUST comes up with an eco-friendly bio-leaching solution.
And in sport, Zimbabwe Warriors now in Yaoundé, Cameroon for their final AFCON Group J qualifier on Tuesday.
These are more stories to come, but we start off with our main report. His Excellency the President, Comrade Emmerson Mnangagwa, says member states in Southern African Development Community must strengthen children protection instruments to address existing gaps and set specific measurable targets to achieve better results.
He was speaking at the Regional World Children's Day commemorations in Victoria Falls this Saturday, and our chief correspondent Ruben Barwe gives us more details.
The 2024 Regional World Children's Day commemoration ends today in the resort town of Victoria Falls, 3 days shy of the 20th of November that the world commemorates the World Children's Day. The theme of this year's celebration is, and I quote, "Educate and skill the African child for posterity," end of quote. The President, Comrade Emmerson Mnangagwa, said as a region we need to strengthen instruments on child protection.
SADC stakeholders are challenged to broaden mechanisms for collaborating around transboundary matters affecting our children. Considerations must be made to establish a SADC protocol on children's rights.
Zimbabwe has transitioned to Education 5.0 that nurtures creativity, critical thinking, entrepreneurship using science, technology, and innovation. And even in rural areas, government had begun feeding children in risk and nutrition insecure communities, said President Mnangagwa.
Civil society organizations and community-based groups, including the Angel of Hope Foundation, whose patron is the First Lady of Zimbabwe, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, have proved invaluable partners in our quest to meet the needs of our children and guarantee their moral upbringing. Ubuntu.
Government has established victim-friendly units and child-friendly courts to provide access to justice by many children. In the same vein, Zimbabwe strengthened refugee protection.
To this end, over 16,000 refugees and asylum seekers, including children, are being provided for with protection and the basic social services in Zimbabwe. Furthermore, we have put in place measures to prevent instances of statelessness, particularly for refugees whose rights to identity are upheld through the facilitation of birth registration to ensure access to services as espoused by our Constitution.
It was President Mnangagwa's clarion call that investing in children is investing in our future, and by empowering them, thus we empower the world and a better future for all. Ruben Barwe, ZBC News, Victoria Falls.
Now, the SADC Ordinary Summit is now in motion at the new Parliament building at Mount Hampton, with the Ministerial Committee of the Organ on Politics, Defence and Security meeting this Sunday. We will link up with our reporter Wellington Mankonise much later, who is at the new Parliament building. Meanwhile, a domestic tourism festive season travel campaign has been launched in Mashonaland Central Province to encourage citizens to visit local destinations and boost the revenue inflows for the hospitality industry.
Perfect setting for the launch of the domestic festive season tourism campaign by Tourism and Hospitality Industry Minister Honorable Barbara Rodzi this Saturday.
Bonus yakasetwa muna November kuitira kuti ugopinda mu Christmas wakadi wakanaka nemhuri yako. Vamwe vowana bonus ye vomba vati hatakwenda tokwira ndege. Mari kuma tickets. Mari kunopa vari ku South Africa, kunopa vari ku Botswana, kunopa vari ku Zambia, vamwe ku UK, vamwe ku Dubai, kune vamwe mukati umu vakatotenga ma tickets. Endai munotora mari iyo tiende nayo ku Kariba, tiende nayo ku Victoria Falls, tiende nayo ku Great Zimbabwe. Nasi mari yatiri kubhadhara pano yatatenga nyama, yatatenga ma drinks, yatatenga sadza, yatatenga zvose zvatatenga kuti tidye pano nasi. Mari yaita job creation.
The launch of the domestic festive season tourism campaign falls at a time Mashonaland Central Province is priming to increase tourist inflows from Mazoe to Kanyemba under the Northern Tourism Corridor Initiative.
We envision a tourism corridor from Shamva to Lower Guruve, reaching the Zambesi banks in Kanyemba. To support this corridor, we must address accessible amenities, making the finalization of Kanyemba conceptual development plan essential. We seek your assistance in accelerating the process to unlock Kanyemba's tourism potential.
In addition, Mazoe has massive domestic tourism potential due to its proximity to Harare and being the gateway to Mashonaland Central Province.
Mataura zvakanaka kuti vamwe vakawanda tinotora nguva nekupedza mari tichifamba tichienda kwakadaro kunofara, asi muno tisingazivi. Mune nzvimbo dzakanaka muno.
The domestic festive season tourism campaign is running under the theme Travel Zimbabwe. The tourism industry contributes more than 5% to the national gross domestic product. Tapiwa Machemedze, ZBC News, Mazoe.
The Pan-African Parliament is ready to implement its strategic plan adopted at the just-ended 4th Ordinary Session of the 6th Parliament through a packed 2025 calendar of activities. More details in the upcoming report.
Formed to ensure the full participation of African people in the economic development and integration of the continent, the PAP set out a busy calendar year in which various committees will facilitate the implementation of African Union AU programs across the continent.
The first 10 years of Agenda 2063 were not that good. Africa did not perform well. So now as a parliament, we want to make sure that we oversee the implementation more effectively. We'll be very active in seeing whether we are making progress and which areas need to be reviewed and looked into.
The PAP president also emphasized the need for adequate funding to ensure the AU organ fully executes its mandate.
PAP is not well funded. Its budget lasts only 6 months. So we always have to push for supplementary budget. But we've also come up with a resource mobilization strategy. We should see more resources coming into Pan-African Parliament outside the traditional AU budget.
Among its key roles, the PAP has an oversight role in the implementation of AU programs in line with Africa Agenda 2063, anchored on inclusive and sustainable development. Ian Zoma, ZBC News, Midrand.
Zimbabwe is ready to welcome the world to the Ramsar Convention on Wetland Conference to be held in Victoria Falls next year.
As the first week of negotiations and deliberations on the United Nations Conference on Climate Change, COP29, ended this Saturday in Baku, the Zimbabwe delegation hosted a side event as part of preparations for COP15 on wetlands to be held next year. The discussions saw participants from Zimbabwe and other organizations deliberating on the significance of wetlands in removing pollutants serving as wildlife habitats and acting as groundwater recharge systems.
The health and survival of some of these wetlands cannot only be achieved through our own actions as a single country.
What we hope to be able to do when we come and contribute to the negotiations next year is to bring forward loads of practical examples about how we're creating these collaborations between investors, civil society and government.
The Minister of Environment, Climate and Wildlife, Dr. Zambesi, spoke on the significance of wetlands in mitigating climate change.
Protecting wetlands is not just an environmental issue. It is a matter of social justice and economic sustainability.
Secretary General of the Convention on Wetlands, Ms. Msonda Mumba, reaffirmed her support to Zimbabwe in ensuring the Victoria Falls Conference is a success.
The country is currently host to 7 Ramsar sites or wetlands of international importance as they are known, including the renowned Victoria Falls. 15 will spotlight the value of wetlands and create new avenues for collaborative conservation.
According to the Zimbabwe Environmental Law Association, wetlands cover 3% of Zimbabwe's area, while the country has 7 wetlands of international importance. Memory Chamisa, ZBC News, Baku.
Amplifying awareness about the difficulties faced by infants born prematurely took center stage as Zimbabwe joined the rest of the world in commemorating the World Prematurity Day.
Tendai Mutema had the privilege of giving birth twice, albeit prematurely, facing complications not just for her but her babies as well. While she celebrates their survival, she has had to endure the difficulties and stigma around her babies.
We did a total of 82 days in hospital. You can imagine seeing a human being who weighs 595 grams and that human being is living. And you are the mom and you're expected to be strong, you're expected to have hope, you're expected to be expressing milk so that she's tube fed. You are told of so many possible complications, brain bleeds. I think we're at a stage 1 or 2 brain bleed with her, which went away. She had what is called retinopathy of prematurity, where the oxygen affects her eyes, so she needed laser eye treatment when she was around 930 grams. So before she was a kg, she was in the theater.
Zimbabwe joined the rest of the world to mark World Prematurity Day this Sunday, raising awareness on the condition.
We have to learn to treat prematurity better, and the good news is that there is a lot that we can do cheaply to improve our care of preterm babies.
In 2024, the theme that we're going with for World Prematurity Day is access to quality care everywhere. Now, this access to quality care everywhere does not just end on the area, on the facility where these neonates are housed, but it also includes the type of surgicals and consumables that are used to support these children to maximize their survival rate.
The World Health Organization reports that globally, over 13 million babies are born prematurely each year, while close to 1 million die at infancy. However, Zimbabwe is leading Africa in preterm care for babies through the new immediate kangaroo mother care unit at Mbuyane Maternity Hospital that is achieving incredible success. Wellington Makonese, ZBC News, Harare.
Bedside Apostolic Church founder Archbishop Loveless Matadirano Manango, who died on the 5th of this month, has been buried in Janja Chingoma district.
Aged 104, Archbishop Manango was buried at Chiwirire Hill overlooking the church shrine at a funeral attended by thousands of people who include family, church members and government officials this Saturday. The late Archbishop has been hailed for his unflinching dedication to his family and the church.
Tichachema asi tichachema tine tariro. Tariro yekuti temberi tichaivaka ichipera. Tariro yekuti mweya yakaipa icharamba ichibuda muBeside Apostolic Church. Tariro yekuti vasinganzwi vachanzwa. Tichataura shoko raMwari mausiku namasikati. Tisingabve pane zvatakarairwa naBaba.
Archbishop mazwava kupedzesera havana kurasa kunamata. Shoko ravo guru ngoti maina shandei. Ndoenda ndega here uchisara ndikati mwega bebi. Volika mukana ndigochengeta vanhu.
Archbishop Manango's contribution to national development and peace was also appreciated.
Ndakamirira His Excellency President vedu Dr. Idi Mnangagwa. Ndauya neshoko renyaradzo. Baba vamanhango kana munyaya dzematongerwo enyika vakafamba nadzo. President vakaona zvakakodzera kuti mukuchengetwa mababa vedu ruoko rwavo rusvike.
Vanhu vari pano vari kuteera basa rakanaka rakaitwa naMwari. Pano hapasi kuchemwa, pano pari kupemberwa basa rakanaka rakagadzirwa naArchbishop waManango. Murume ari pano igamba mazviro kwazvo kana taakutaura zvemweya, taakutaura zvenhaka yeupenyu.
Mutungamiriri wenyika wakati nyika inonamatigwa neve vayo. Ndo zvandiri kuona pano, ndo zvatoona kwose kwatinoenda. Zvandanchikumirisa zvikuru, chipo chiri pano chikuru. Munhu watiita kuti pano munhu mukuru 70 years of a life uchiita zvechechi haisi yokutamba nayo.
Archbishop Manango, who was accorded a state-assisted funeral, formed beside the Apostolic Church in 1952, and it grew to become one of the largest indigenous churches in Zimbabwe. Gerald, SADC News, Chikomba.
May his soul rest in peace. And on that note, we cross over to our Montreux studios where Marilyn Gwenya is on standby. Good evening, Marilyn.
Good evening and many thanks to you, Tarero and Lian. In our following report, government has pledged to expedite the regularization of Garikai Hlalani housing schemes to accord its citizenry dignified accommodation towards an upper middle income society by 2030.
While the Garikai Hlalani housing scheme could have been done through a fast-track model to solve the demand for houses by the growing urban population and overlooked critical services like water, sewer, road network and electricity, government has moved in to expedite the regularization of the scheme to meet the standards of a housing scheme. One such scheme in Gwanda has already started putting in place services like water and tower lights, with the sewer system and road network going through tendering processes.
Government came in to assist in regularization in terms of putting sewage, water lines and street lights. We all aware that a serviced area must be fully serviced by having roads, sewer, street lights and all those things. So the National Housing, the Minister of National Housing came in with the funding. We've been doing tenders.
Government is on a drive to regularize and modernize fast-tracked housing schemes countrywide.
People were allocated some stands, but it's now time for those stands to be regularized. To us, they are dysfunctional in the sense that there are no proper roads, no sewerage, and the water provision has to be very normal and regular.
The Garikai Hlalani project in Gwanda has 671 houses, with a new school being constructed through harnessing devolution funds. Government, through the National Development Strategy 1, has taken a holistic approach in planning for housing settlements, which include planning for provision of key basic infrastructure such as ICT for the development of smart settlements for both urban and rural areas. Providence Maranelli, ZBC News, Gwanda.
Over 500 people in Chibala area in Hwange district have benefited from a free medical services program organized by Hwange Colliery Company.
The initiative, launched by the Coal Powerhouse under its hospital arm, benefited over 500 villagers. The beneficiaries got clinical attention, eye care, sensor screening and hypertension medication, among other services. For those who face the challenge of making it to the next health facility whenever healthcare needs arise, it was a huge moment to celebrate.
Nasi nakwanisa kuvala mavana matukutuku nechipimo chokuti vinifoni ngwendo velingesita zubhono namavana matukutuku
uri nzimwachita nzipati nzimwachita kuno chetopa ndaluza ABB ndalumba siviri kapati.
President Emerson Mnangagwa is on record
on challenging mining companies in Hwange and other parts of the country to support the communities they operate in through life-changing initiatives.
We have taken our medical company here to make sure that they look after the community. We're also screening for cancer. You are aware Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa is going around the country to make sure that women are screened for cervical cancer. We have brought that facilities as well to complement efforts.
As the majority stakeholder at the colliery company, government has insisted on ensuring its vision for a healthy society is promoted through its mantra of leaving no one and no place behind. SADC News, Hwange.
In our I'm an African feature, Somali-born model Iman is considered one of Africa's top fashion icons after his historic achievements in the fashion industry and unique style. In our I'm an African feature for tonight, we celebrate Iman and the role she played in breaking barriers for African women in the beauty industry.
Born Zara Mohammed Abdul-Majid on 25 July 1955, known mononymously as Iman, the famous icon was discovered by photographer Peter Beard in 1975 while she was a student at the University of Nairobi in Kenya. She became the first African model to grace the cover of Vogue in 1979 and also the first African model to sign a major cosmetics contract. Iman became a muse of the designers Gianni Versace, Thierry Mugler, Calvin Klein, Donna Karan, and Yves Saint Laurent. She is also noted for her philanthropic work. She was married to musician David Bowie from 1992 until his death in 2016. Iman is the daughter of Mariam and Mohammed Abdul-Majid. Her father, a diplomat, was the Somali ambassador to Saudi Arabia, and her mother was a gynecologist. She has 4 siblings, 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and was the first girl in her family in 6 generations of sons. She briefly studied political science at the University of Nairobi in 1975 before becoming a model. Over the course of a long modeling and philanthropic career, Iman has received many awards. On 7 June 2010, she received a Fashion Icon Lifetime Achievement Award from the Council of Fashion Designers of America, a special prize reserved for an individual whose signature style has had a profound influence on fashion. The model became a force to reckon with on the entertainment scene after featuring in music videos, magazines, as well as TV productions. Some of the productions she featured on include The Human Factor in 1979, Exposed in 1983, Model, Do What You Do music video 1984, The Cosby Show 1985, No Way Out 1987, Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country 1991, Project Runway Canada 2007, and the fashion show Ultimate Collection of 2010. Iman also wrote 2 books, I'm Iman and The Beauty of Color. Now 69 years old, Iman has become an iconic figure in the beauty industry who paved way for African women to be confident in their own skin and to be part of the beauty industry.
And that's it from myself, Marilyn Gwenya, and the Montrose crew for tonight. It's back to the team at Pocket Hill Studios in Harare for more news. And I see Tariro, who is on standby. Tariro, it's back to you.
Thank you very much for that, Marilyn. Now, viewers, please be advised that soon after Sunday edition, ZBC News and Current Affairs will bring you a special program on COP29, which was attended by His Excellency President Emmerson Mnangagwa in Baku, Azerbaijan. But for now, we take a break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Get your business ready for the Festive festive season with ZBC. Join us for the ZBC Mega Festive Business Promotion running from the 1st of November of 2024 all the way to January 31 of 2025. Enjoy an incredible cash discount of over 50% across all ZBC platforms. This is your opportunity to make your business shine. So celebrate with ZBC and watch your business thrive by simply booking your spot right now. For more information, call Tandeka on 0719 594 426 or Martha on 0719 593 532 or Precious on 0719 593 510 or email tandeka.mubi@zbc.co.zw. Terms and conditions apply.
A spectacle of buyers and traders. We get more in our This and That, a feature from our reporter, Tichawana Kurewa.
There are no prizes for guessing that it is a market day at Mulibizi Resort. What is, however, striking is that it is not your ordinary collection of vegetables and trinkets. This is a fish market, a place where the bounty of the mighty Zambezi River meets the appetite of Zimbabwe and Zambia alike.
I'm from Blawa. I've just came here to Mlivizi to buy fish for resale.
Inini ndawo yakuno kuzoorder fish kumlivizi. And fish pandakatanga kudziorder dzinofamba.
The fish market, however, operates on a set of rules. The traders are recorded on arrival and marked on departure, while the buyers should possess permits, one from the Zimbabwe Parks and Wildlife Management Authority, ZimParks, and another one from the Binga Road District Council.
Siyabuya lapha eMlivizi ukuzovoda inhlanzi. So sivoda inhlanzi sile challenge ukuthi these days inhlanzi asitholakala emfuleni. So siyagijima emfuleni sidinga inhlanzi asitholakala. So lapha wesi i-city council uyafuna $12. But i-city council singafika eTown of Mlivizi. Imali yangikhona iyale expire.
Okunotrabola on Friday yonse. Kuletha ibasu. Sambalansi ana usenana amlivizi. Yonse a Friday. Ngomla nguthoka phegwa nguthoka zumizi goti ngatubola on Friday. Kuzwo kuno kuZimbabwe.
The visitors cross the mighty Zambezi River on paid-for canoe trips to be part of what traditional leaders also perceive as an opportunity for cultural exchange over and above commercial transactions.
Along Zambezi, ngabantu one. Go self-separate ngokuvalwa kweKariba Dam. So amanya ama-brothers, izihlobo, even osisi labo mama, even labo baba. We are related to Zambia.
The Mulibizi market is more than just a place to buy and sell fish. It is also a symbol of the strong cultural ties that bind Zimbabwe and Zambia together. Tichaona Kurewa, ZBC News, Binga.
In business news, stakeholders in the mining and energy sectors are expecting Treasury to grant sufficient resources to the two economic sectors in the 2025 national budget, as they are the heart of the sustainable economic growth. More details in the upcoming report.
The mining sector is largely becoming the key anchor to the country's economy by increasing foreign currency inflows, job creation and supporting other economic sectors' value chains. Ahead of the 2025 national budget presentation later this month, the Ministry of Mines and Mining Development has put a strong case for increased support from Treasury in order to enhance its activities so as to attract investment into this sector.
We need to weigh and see the importance of the ministry and what we are expected to be doing as a ministry versus the budget allocations that have been channeled to the ministry. My humble request still stands, Honorable Speaker, that from the revenue inflows that we collect, may 25% be approved as retention to the ministry so that will be oiled and lubricated to run the ministry smoothly.
Energy policy consultant engineer Edzaika Chirekwa says in the face of crippling power challenges, Policy interventions to attract more investment for new power projects should be considered by Treasury.
Energy is the backbone of any nation, and when we do not have adequate power, it simply means that for agriculture, mining, all those areas and all the industries, they won't function quite well. So looking at renewable energy now, because this is where we are all centered in, and this is the only thing that can actually make this country continue to run like it is happening now. But I think we need a more robust approach where the minister should at least try to put a sizable number of investments.
Meanwhile, local and international stakeholders are converging in Victoria Falls for the Zambia-Zimbabwe Energy Summit, where urgent policy interventions to attract investors in energy generation are set to dominate discussions. Owen Manova, ZBC News, Harare.
A 25-year-old chemical engineering student from the National University of Science and Technology has come up with an eco-friendly bio-leaching solution for effectively extracting minerals from metals and low-grade ores without causing pollution. Let's take a look.
With the mining sector vital in advancing economic growth, a 25-year-old NUS student, Stephen Kumbanga, has come up with a groundbreaking eco-friendly fungi bioleaching solution in an effort to reduce the mining sector's reliance on toxic chemicals.
It's a purification process whereby when you want copper, you tend to separate those copper ions, from the rest of ions that are unwanted, and then from there you go to electrowinning, where you place your electrode in the solution and then you apply a current, and then your copper is deposited on the cathode. And then when you want copper, you just strip the copper on the cathode. So this is a simple schematic of how it works, this solution. I've told you it's eco-friendly, it's cost-effective, and also it can be applied to various types of ores. Talking about copper ores, gold ores, and also even electronic waste.
The cost-effective and eco-friendly bioleaching solution made from fungi also value-adds dumped ores which have been rendered useless.
So as you know, the mining sector is a branch called the hydrometallurgy. It's whereby they utilize solutions, that is aqueous solutions, to extract minerals from their ore, dissolve minerals from their ore. Then they do electrode deposition so that they can get the mineral in solid form.
Kumbanga was inspired by the devastating effect of toxic chemicals like mercury, which result in the loss of vegetation, livestock, and wildlife.
And also, lastly, there's also an aspect of bioremediation. You have seen where they discharge the mine effluents or the chemicals, you end up having a space where vegetation does not grow. The land will be like bowed land.
The groundbreaking eco-friendly bioleaching solution protects lives and offers a sustainable alternative to traditional chemicals used in the mining sector. Lisa Masuku, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
We now give you the details where the SADC Extraordinary Summit is now in motion at the new Parliament building in Mount Hampton, with a ministerial committee on the organ on politics, defence and security meeting this Sunday. We'll link up with our reporter Wellington Makonese, who is at the new Parliament building right now.
The Extraordinary Summit for Heads of State and Government is underway right here at the Mount Hampton Parliament building. And of course, what started off proceedings is the meeting of ministers who form the organ on politics and defense in the SADC region. And part of the deliberations, of course, involve peace and security within the region. Officially opening proceedings was the Executive Secretary of SADC, that is Mr. Elias Mangosi.
The region continues to uphold democratic principles and practices by holding regular elections. Since your last meeting in July of this year, 3 member states have held their national or general elections. These member states are the Republic of Mozambique, the Republic of Botswana and the Republic of Mauritius quite recently. I wish to commend and congratulate the people of Botswana, Mauritius and Mozambique for exercising their constitutional and democratic right to choose their leaders through a peaceful and democratic process. As the Republic of Namibia prepares to hold their national elections on the 27th of this month, we wish the people of the country peaceful and successful elections as well.
His Excellency Mangosi also spoke on the environment that elections have been held in the region.
I appreciate the immense challenges that come with this task, particularly to ensure that the elections are held in line with the SADC principles and guidelines governing your democratic elections. Honourable Ministers, regarding the security situation in our region, the region is generally relatively calm and stable despite isolated insecurity, particularly in Eastern DRC, where attacks on government forces and civilians by the armed groups have caused the displacement of approximately 6.4 million people countrywide, with more than 2.5 million people internally displaced within North Kivu province in the last 2 years alone. As a result of these armed attacks, the eastern part of the DRC has witnessed a dire humanitarian situation, which requires an urgent and well-concerted intervention.
The chairperson of the Ministerial Committee of the organ also gave remarks on this event and spoke on the need for the region to respect electoral proceedings and maintain peace.
While the electoral processes were concluded in some member states, I understand that they are inconclusive in others. In that regard, I wish to appeal to all political stakeholders to remain calm and exercise restraint as the electoral management bodies and other relevant bodies finalize the electoral process. Honorable Ministers, as we all know, peace and security is a cornerstone of the integration and socio-economic development of our region and of our organization. We need to remain steadfast in ensuring that it is preserved at all costs.
The summit that began this afternoon will proceed for the following days, where the heads of state and government will discuss on the peace and security issues concerning the region. Wellington Makwanese, ZBC News, Mount Amden.
We are streaming live on our Facebook page. Do tell us where you are streaming live from. We're off to a break. Stay with us.
When I started out, life was tough. I learned I was not alone. The other women supported me. I started my own small business, and slowly, very slowly, life got better. Today, my business is thriving and I'm able to provide for my family. And I'm grateful for the friends who are there for me. After all, we all need a friend. Zimgold, your trusted friend.
The time for half measures is over, and we all have a duty to fully implement our agreements.
Get your business ready for the festive season with ZBC. Join us for the ZBC Mega Festive Business Promotion running from the 1st of November of 2024 all the way to January 31 of 2025. Enjoy an incredible cash discount of over 50% across all ZBC platforms. This is your opportunity to make your business shine. So celebrate with ZBC and watch your business thrive. live by simply booking your spot right now. For more information, call Tandeka on 0719 594 426 or Martha on 0719 593 532 or Precious on 0719 593 510 or email tandeka.mubi@zbc.co.zw.
Terms and conditions apply. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. The First Lady, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, took her Africana Family Humanism Program to Matabeleland region this Saturday as she forges ahead with building strong marriages in the society.
In a quest to build healthy and loving homes rooted in the country's cultural values, the First Lady, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, took the Africana Family Humanism Program to the Zimbabwe International Exhibition Center in Bulawayo this Saturday. The event, which drew hundreds of women and men from 3 provinces in Matabeleland region, which include Bulawayo, Matabeleland North and Matabeleland South, focused on the critical issues of upholding strong African family values in marriages in an era marked by rising divorce rates. The First Lady, who has been a vocal advocate of love and respect in a family unit, sat alongside the participants, lending an attentive ear to the heartfelt concerns shared by individuals from all walks of life. The discussion delved into a range of issues, including infidelity, financial strain, lack of communication, and domestic violence, which have been identified as major contributors to marital breakdown. What prompted the Mother of the Nation to conduct these gatherings across the country is the numerous reports received through a national GBV toll-free line 575 of failing marriages due to various reasons, including infidelity, lack of respect, withdrawal of conjugal rights in the marriage setup, and lack of communication in the home. In addition, the Nanga, Kota, Iqliba sessions initiated by Dr. Mnangagwa propelled a desire to engage men and women, as these sessions with the children revealed many challenges in the marriage setup.
Current issues received daily in my office and numerous letters from concerned citizens, as well as distressing reports, are coming through the National Gender-Based Violence toll-free line 575, which is in my office. These communications have uncovered a painful reality that many of us may not want to acknowledge.
Women and men were separated to facilitate open and honest discussions.
As we address the challenges that arise within our families today, we must cultivate an environment where both men and women can express their grievances openly and constructively. I stand before you today not to judge or assign blame, but to encourage dialogue, an open and honest conversation where both sides can air their grievances and work towards amicable solutions. We must not forget that our marriages and families are worth fighting for. It is our responsibility to seek to understand one another, to listen with empathy, and to approach each situation with a commitment to healing.
Women, the married, divorced and single mothers' concerns range from financial insecurity, the reasons behind the rise in the number of married women committing adultery, and domestic violence, to lack of emotional support.
Uneuchinzwa kuti ndiri kuda kuti ndiite nemurume wangu anouya akamwa doro zvokupera zviya oti pamwe nchamirira weekend anouya futi akadi akadhakwa uchiita zvose. Zvine semunhu unenge uri pamarriage uri mwana wechidiki kuita sokuti ndava shirikadzi inini ndine murume murume achimuda achimuitira zvose takatarisa dzimwe dzenguva anoti akapfirwa iyo bedroom yacho ndiye yakavhura akapfira mate kuti you are testless haufanani namainingi. Saka zvinoitwa sei zvinhu zvakadai? Achirohwa achichengeta vabereki achiita basa rose asi agorohwa usiku namasikati kubviswa pamubhedha kukwidza hure. Ndiri kutaura chinhu chakaitika mune yangu imba mumwana wangu. Ndinorwadziwa hama dzaMwari. Uri ku all night prayer murume unotora hure kukwidza pamubhedha. Hazvifambi vabereki. Zvotoda munamate kuti tinamate. Vana vedu vanoshingaira kuda kuroorwa. Wozobuda kunze nokuti lavhu yomba haiwani. Anomudza kuti hayi atestless. Saka toita sei nevana vedu? Ngakudzidziswe both sides. Kana wamuroora mude muchengete kuti Bhaibheri rinoti vakadzi zvideredzei pavarume venyu nemiwo varume idai vakadzi venyu.
I now feel caged. Mama, vasikana vari muno mungavataure chokwadi chavari kunyanya kunetseka mudzimba. It's now like they are not submissive, but they are asi vari mumajere madiki. Pamusaka pezvinhu zviri kuitika mumamarriages. Asvika kubasa akaenda andakadzidza makadzidzisa kamama makabhadhara school fees ndaenda kubasa unosvika boss ana stress dzako dzemukadzi wake pada anonetsa. How you know you do this? That person is now becoming a listener. Nekuti uyu ari kumba is failing to understand what I'm trying to say, how I'm trying to express myself. Pobva patotanga conflict. Ndo chimwe chihombe chiri kuuraya dzimba.
Hatigone kusiya musha nekuti murume aura. Tinofanira kushingirira isu semadzimai nekuti tisu musha mukadzi. Ukasiya vana vanotambudzika, ukaenda nawo wakunotambudzika uri wega, ndopa wakunofunga kuhura kana kutora murume womunhu. Ngatishingirire tiri pamurume iyeye, muudze kuti handibve pano ndopamba pangu.
Kana uri mubereki unofanirwa kuziva kuti unofanirwa kuzvibata kana uri mukadzi wakaroorwa kuitira kuti uchengetedze mhuri yako. Zvanzi kutanga kwehungwaru kutya Mwari. Saka madzimai kana tiri mukati meinoimba ngatizivei kuti kutya Mwari chinhu chakakosha. Vakadzi vazhinji mazuvano vanoda kutsividza. Nana baba vemuri kutaura kuti vana baba vanoda kugezeswa, vanoda kubikirwa. Asi vana baba ivovo pavakatida vakanga vachitiona sezvatanga tiri. Saka ngatiregei kupoterera tichipoterera toti kusiyiwa mba kundava kuti ndenge ndisina kugeza. Kunyangwe ndakageza ndiri kusiyiwa, asi iveve ziva kuti kana uri mai vachikuda kubereka vana, rega kunzwisa mwana wako uchabereka achisara ane chirwere. Cherechedza izvozvo usati waita upombwe ihwohwo.
Men, on the other hand, guided by traditional chiefs and men of cloth, highlighted the pressures of modern life, including economic hardships and societal expectations. After the separate discussions, the women and men were reunited to share their experiences and insights. The atmosphere was charged with emotion as participants openly expressed their feelings and sought understanding from one another.
Asikhulumi ngezindaba eziqhakathekileyo, sibona ingani ukuthi umuntu ayekhombisa phandle yikho okusolva iproblem, ukuthi umuntu abe lesikomba yikho ukuthi kuqede iproblem. Tataura isusu kuti chikonzero chinoita vana mai vapesire pava nezvikomba kana kuti pava nepfambi yatinoti munoti ama small house iwayo. Zvinokonzerwa nokuti hatitaurirani kana tikava nedambudziko mudzimba. Ndinoona sekuti solution iri nani kuti inini ndizvanire chikomba changu pasite kuti dambudziko riri mumba mangu ripere. Handizvoba.
Tirispektei nekukanganisa kwedu. Neniwo ndichazvidzora. Neniwo ndichaona kuti ndiri kukanganisa mukadzi wangu. Ipo paya kana uchinyarara ndinotozvidya mukati ukuti hey umama lo wazowathula kangaka. Mina ngonile ngiyazidla ngaphakathi. So ukuthula kwakho kuqhakathekile. So siyacela bomama ukuthi ngekhaya lisihloniphe. Kakhulu abantwana bakhangela lina ukuthi libehave njani. Nxa sifika bakopa lina khona elikwenzayo bahamba lakho emendweni. Vakusvika ikoko vachadzoka nokuti imimi mai ndima kazvitanga pambapa. Saka tinokumbirisisa kuti tisataridza vana vedu kuti tiri kukanganisa. Mune bedroom ngatinotaurana mubedroom topedzerana ikoko.
Bomama ama WhatsApp kaphelele e-sitting room. Nxa sesingale ngumdlalo. Ngibe sengibuya mama wesizwe bakithi. Silenkinga lapha eyabantwa bethu. Tozopetsira tisisina abazukuru. Nyaya yenjengu. Ameno akauya nayo kuti ndiyani taikumbirisa zukuru kuti dai isitwa ban. Kukosungwa nevanotaqedisa zenzaqedisa ngalokhu iresolution ephumela bobaba lapha bakithi yikuthi mama thina kasila kliniki lathi ukuthi ke siyehlolwa icancer phela nale isichithela imizi. Obaba lawo sebestika nxa icancer iprocessed cancer lesikhona. Sicela bakithi ukuthi lathi ke sihlolwe kule kliniki ezasivumela ukuthi siyehlolwa lathi selatshwe i-cancer iprocessed cancer yesihluphile kubo baba.
To propose guidance and solutions, a wellness coach and a pastor were invited to share their perspectives.
Singavumelana ukuthi into leyi ivela kude singalungisa. Bomama kuyalunga konke. Asinya iripo solution over talking. We have said empowerment, we have spoken empowerment, but it means you act. Asiphakame bogogo libanengi la 2020 amankazana 2020 abaphansi kwakho obatshela ukuthi right lokhu nguzwile buya lejaha lakho kwezwakala ngabakhokorozwe phamushamu njimbo. Call them with their friends, their boys. Let's talk to all of them. Let's not marriage cancel a woman.
Asiphetheni ngokuthi siyefundisa abantwana ukuthi bengayenzi isehlukaniso. Please hlalani labantwana benu emagumeni enu likwazi ukuthi nalilandanga amadoda lilande abantwana benu libakhulise ngendlela efaneleyo. Lokhu ukuthi lizasuka lapha uye ngale lokhu hamba uduba abantwana kuzahlupha ilizwe lethu kalisoze libe le order. Asibekezeleni emendweni, asibekezeleni noma kutshisa senzele abantwana labi future yabo.
The First Lady concluded the event by emphasizing the need for collective action to strengthen families. She encouraged participants to apply the insights gained from the dialogue to their own lives and to share the message with others. She also pledged to continue working with government and community organizations to promote family values and support initiatives that empower families. Currently, the First Lady has taken the initiative to teach school-going boys household chores as a significant step towards promoting gender equality and fostering a sense of shared responsibility within families. In an act of benevolence, the Mother of the Nation gave the elderly and traditional chiefs an early Christmas treat with an assortment of groceries, while tons of food to be distributed to the community. Schools, orphanages and prisons were also donated by Amai. As the interface concluded, participants felt feeling empowered and inspired. The dialogue had not only shed light on the complex issues affecting families, but it also sparked a renewed commitment to building stronger and more resilient relationships. Yolanda Moy, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Meanwhile, the First Lady, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, has been honored by the Arab Women Investment Union in recognition of her dedication to assisting vulnerable communities. The organization described Ms. Dr. Mnangagwa as a beacon of hope in the darkness, titled Guiding Light to the Most Vulnerable in the Society. The award, announced at the just-ended Arab African Investment Summit, celebrates Dr. Mnangagwa's extensive charitable efforts through her Angel of Hope Foundation. Amai Mnangagwa's work has made a significant impact on communities in Zimbabwe, particularly among the elderly, disabled and the less privileged. The award ceremony was attended by distinguished leaders and dignitaries, including Bulawayo Metropolitan Minister of Province, Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable Judith Ncube, And Matabeleland South Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Dr. Evelyn Ndlovu, who received the award on behalf of the First Lady. The Arab African Investment and International Cooperation Summit was held in Aswan, Egypt, from the 11th to the 15th of this month.
Well, congratulations there to the First Lady, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, for bagging yet another accolade in her philanthropic work. Buzzing in sport, the Zimbabwe national men's football team, the Warriors, are now in Yaoundé, Cameroon, ahead of the final AFCON Group J qualifier against the indomitable Lions on Tuesday. And now the Warriors are targeting to conclude the AFCON qualifiers on yet another winning note.
Despite having sealed qualification for the 2025 AFCON final set for Morocco, the Warriors' match against the indomitable Lions of Cameroon is likely to decide how Group J standings will finish. The two sides are separated by 2 points and have both booked slots in the AFCON finals. Warriors head coach Michael Nice says the game is important for his side as it determines FIFA rankings and seeding in the next tournament.
You need to take every game serious because it counts on the FIFA ranking. And the better your FIFA ranking, the better your seedings in the next thing, and so on. So it has consequences. The FIFA ranking for me personally, it influences your seeding in the next tournament, maybe, you know.
Nice will be looking to balance between parading some players to try out new combinations and maintaining consistency.
On the other side, we didn't lose a game yet, 5 games. We want to continue like that, but must also look at the players, how they, I'm sure 3 or 4 players went maybe above the limit today. And I must see how we can assemble a squad which can face Cameroon. A few other players maybe also deserve a chance.
The two sides played to a stalemate in the reverse fixture, and a win for Zimbabwe will see them topping Group J. Mtokozi's story. ZBC News.
Still in sport, Highlanders ladies side the Royals kept alive their survival chances by dismissing Shisham Queens 3-1 in a match played in Ulayu this Saturday.
It has not been an easy sojourn for Heart Women Premier League debutants Highlanders Royals, who were steering relegation, having gone for 27 games and only won 7, drew 4 and lost 14 encounters. The Royals, however, heaved a sigh of relief after collecting their 7th win, which saw them occupy 12th position with 25 points. With 5 games remaining, the Royals will need to collect a set of 3 points to be out of the drop zone. Zetarapi Harare and MSU Queens have officially kissed goodbye to the Heart Women Premier League, while debutants Hope Academy and Mutare City are still stuck in the murky waters of relegation, with 5 games to go before the curtain comes down on the league. At the summit, the race will likely be headed for a photo finish as the Rentals, second-placed Black Rhinos Queens, Chapungu and Correctional Queens are gunning for the championship. It was goals galore as Black Rhinos harvested 18 goals against MSU, in the process condemning the side to the lower league. Mtokozi's story. ZBC News, Bulawayo.
And our records are already tumbling in the 2024-25 Logan Cup season after 2 rounds of matches, with more records likely to be toppled as the first-class cricket season unfolds.
After losing the championship in the final to Mega Market Mountaineers during the 2023-2024 season, Mashonaland Eagles have engaged top gear in their title bid this campaign. This side has kick-started the current campaign on lightning speed, scoring the most runs at an aggressive pace after just 2 matches to sit at the summit of the points table with 39 points, scoring 1,214 runs in just 2 matches as they stamp their ambitions to reclinch the coveted crown. In their most recent match, the Eagles needed just 1 out of 2 innings to thump Matabeleland Tuskers by an innings and 205 runs, with 4 Eagles batsmen scoring tons. Dion Myers scored 179 runs, 8 better than veteran Craig Irvine, Waukuzai Maunze and Tadiwa Nashemarumani added a combined 220 runs as their team posted 716 runs for 7 declared, to compile the highest total ever amassed by any Zimbabwean team in first-class cricket. The Rhinos sit second on the points table, with defending champions Mountaineers in third, having played just 1 match. On the betting cards, Irvine sits lucratively at the top of the standings with 281 runs from 3 innings and is just 1 century away from matching Brendan Taylor's record of 14 first-class turns, with an opportunity of breaking the record as the season progresses. Ben Coren is also having a decent start to the season, second to Evan in terms of batting with an average of 69 runs and a healthy strike rate of 72. Reynaud Ngwarati, ZBC News.
We now take a break. Stay with us.
If you drink, be responsible.
Applications are invited from suitably qualified and experienced candidates to fill in the vacant positions that have arisen in the Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation. The following vacancies are currently available: Manager, Power FM, Monitoring and Evaluation Manager, Marketing Executive, Graphic Artist, Finance Officer, Outside Broadcast Technician, Sub-Editor, Picture Editor, Animator, Traffic Officer. Applicants are invited to visit the corporation's website, www.zbc.co.zw, under vacancies, or to scan the QR code to make their applications. ZBC is an equal opportunities employer committed to diversity and inclusion. All vacancies closing on Monday, the 18th of November 2024.
The time for half measures is over, and we all have a duty to fully implement our agreements.
Jah Praiser gave a stunning acoustic version of his music during a business event in the capital. The African Union Sports Council Culture Night allowed the audience to appreciate various cultural dances and songs from the region.
And our news from Mexico, Zimbabwean beauty Sakile Dube left a mark on the global stage after emerging among the top 30 queens at the just ended 73rd Miss Universe pageant held in Mexico, where Denmark beauty Victoria Kajay was crowned queen.
Zimbabwean beauty Sakile Dube carried the country's flag with pride and honor, landing a spot in the top 30 out of the 130 participants from around the globe who participated in the pageant. Despite narrowly missing the top 12 at the pageant, where Denmark's Victoria emerged winner, Sakile left a mark on the international stage. Her delivery at the global stage was a show of beauty, intelligence, and charisma, as witnessed by the many hearts she touched. Throughout her journey, pageant enthusiasts predicted that the Zimbabwean queen was a force to reckon with and would make it to the top. Nigeria's Dima, who is the only African in top 5, was placed the first runner-up, while Maria Fernanda of Mexico was second runner-up. Patience Nyagato, SABC News.
You still remain our Miss Universe, Sakile. Congratulations and thank you for putting Zimbabwe on the world map. Now we give you the weather report.
Good evening, viewers. I hope we find you healthy and safe. My name is Baba Maketa, and it's time for today's weather report and focus. Now, looking at the current wave of thunderstorms that has been affecting the country, we had some isolated thunder showers over the central watershed, with Harare receiving 34 millimeters in the past 24 hours, followed by Kezi with 20 millimeters, and Cholocho received 7 millimeters. Now, going into tomorrow, we are expecting partly cloudy conditions over much of the country, but some chances of thunderstorms over the northern half of the country, and these thunderstorms are expected from Monday up to Thursday. The southern parts of the country are expected to be mostly sunny, and nothing much is expected in these areas, but temperatures should soar to as high as the hot category. Now, for these temperatures in detail, we're expecting our minimums to range from 17 millimeters up to 26 millimeters, with the lowest being over Manicaland and the highest being over the Zambesi Valley. In terms of our maximum, the same trend is expected. The lowest temperatures over the central watershed and the highest temperatures over the valleys, that is the Zambesi Valley as well as the Sawe Valley. Now, for our focus in detail, Bulawayo is expected to be mostly sunny throughout the week. Chinoi, mostly sunny conditions are expected, but Monday and Tuesday should be cloudy. Gwanda, mostly sunny for the greater part of the coming week. In Gweru, partly cloudy conditions are expected, especially on Monday and Tuesday. Harare, partly cloudy conditions are expected from Monday up to Wednesday, but the rest of the week should be mostly sunny. Kadoma, again, mostly sunny conditions for the greater part of the week. Kariba, mostly sunny and hot conditions are expected, but Monday and Tuesday. Lupane, mostly sunny conditions are expected, but Monday and Tuesday again are expected to be wet. Kwekwe, wet on Monday and Tuesday, but sunny for the greater part of the week. Masingo should be mostly sunny for the greater part of the week. Matobo as well should be mostly sunny for the greater part of the week. In Nyanga, cloudy conditions are expected for the whole week, with some chances of rain, especially on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Victoria Falls, partly cloudy conditions are expected. Now, that is all from the Weather Desk. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Well, that's a wrap on the Sunday edition. From us all here at Pocket Hill, as well as Marilyn Gwenya from our Montrose studio. Our video of the week is in commemoration of the World Children's Day that took place in Victoria Falls. Video of the week, Terry?
Indeed, that one is coming from Prince Chikwida and is titled Vana. Have a pleasant evening.
Good night.